Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm NailsofNorway, and today I am going to open up these ANAcrylics. Yeah. It's been a long time since I bought this. I bought the blue ones. I guess it is about 3 years ago. I might double check and see, and I haven't opened them. And this bundle are Easter colors, and these are kind of pastels, I think, so I'm not going to open these now. Why I'm showing you this? Maybe just to show you that it will be another video with ANAcrylics, hopefully in the spring. So let's see what I have here. Here I have our cards. Thank you for your purchase and 15% off of your next order. I don't think I used that. Okay. And you can scan this to get into her page. I am not a fan of this color, this light blue color, but the logo is cool, so that is just my personal preference. So let's start swatching. I will be using any size brush. I am not sure which size this is. I think it is 8, 9 or 10. It doesn't say. And it's been a long time since I bought it and it's brand new, so we'll check it out. And I'm using Couture's scented monomer. This is my favorite. I really like the smell of this. The first one, yeah, well, it's milky white. I have never tried these acrylics before, so from what I heard, the consistency is different than regular acrylic. Some say that this needs to be sculpted, it doesn't flow like regular acrylic. So this is going to be interesting. And this brush is super soft. So soft. Okay. Oh yeah, this is different. You kind of poke into it. You might want to have a more dry consistency than regular. And this is spice, probably a brown, or I'm not sure. Let's see. Ooh. Wow. Turmeric spice, I guess. That's pretty, a really pretty color. And next up we have berry. Ooh, okay. I did not expect that. Blueberry, I guess. Ah, wow. Okay. I was expecting red, not blue. This is a beautiful color for the winter. Let's try it out. Ooh, that is beautiful. Very concentrated. Lots of beautiful glitter. Wow, I like this. Yeah, I'm like a raven. I like everything that sparkles. The next is Forrest. This has to be green. Yeah, it is green. It's very beautiful. I think I might use this today. We'll see. Next one is Bell. Ah, that might go into the spring collection. I did buy this for the spring, so let's put that on the bottom here. Such a beautiful pastel yellow. That was in the small bag. So I guess, yeah, that was a beautiful color for the spring. Not a color that I'm going to use today. And perfect nude. Ooh. I'm going to see how it marbles or suck up the liquid. not much is happening. Yeah, it's a nude pink. I guess that is a perfect nude. So then we have yum. Ooh, I guess this is also supposed to be in the spring collection, or the spring colors that I bought. Oh, this is going to be fun to work with and see how the consistency is, or see how it really plays out when you're marbling and mixing colors and so on. Let's see what we have here. This is Rapunzel. Ooh, okay, so I have two different purples. This is more like a spring color as well, or all around the year color. I like that, I really like that. So I guess I do not need to swatch the clear. I might do it to see how it behaves compared to the colored one. Picked up a lot smaller than the other colors. I tried it several times to see if it was just me that added or removed more liquid from the brush, but it picks up smaller. So I will be using Spice and Forrest and this nude pink. I will be using my Aleana hand, and I am going to glue on some tips that I'm pretty sure I bought them from AliExpress. Can you see that inside here it's like the inside of the tip stops here and the tip keeps going on outside here, and that is really good because you have that inside curve all the way to the tip, and you can use your file to shape the stiletto into a sharp stiletto. And when I'm sculpting, I'm using ANAcrylics acrylic wipes. These are very nice to have when you use acrylics. They soak up so much acrylic and it keeps your brush neat and clean. So voiceover time, I am gluing these tips to the nail bed with some Madame Glam's base gel, and I'm using the flash curing lamp to flash cure for 5 seconds, and then I fully cure them in the lamp for 30 seconds. After this is done, I go in with my efile and I'm using the sanding band bit and smooth out the transition between the tip and the nail bed. The sanding band is creating a bit of a heat as well, so it kind of melts down the tip. So I like to use this sanding band for this, especially when this is a training hand. This is not a natural hand, so it doesn't matter that much. When working on a real hand, it's important to smooth out the transition between the tip and the natural nail. For my design that I'm going to do, I will be using some glitters that I swapped years ago from different friends here on YouTube. I will be using these 3 and mix them together into 2 different mixes. And I will also be using Mia Secrets glitters, the brown, green and gold. These are fine glitters. And I also go in with Nails Dehydrator and primer. Of course, it's not necessary to do this when I'm doing training hand, but this is more like for the educational purposes, I think. And then I'm starting to do a fade on the ring finger. I try to mix it up and try different variations of these colors and variations of different types of, yeah, well, you will see some is a full nail with the color, and this one is a fade, and the other one is an extended nail bed. So you will see different types of, yeah, sculpting nails, I guess. And please do not mind my cuticle application or nail bed application here. It's been a long time since I used acrylics, and yeah, this was not good, and the first fingers are especially not good. On a real hand, this would have been flooded cuticles, and I had not been using this on acrylics before, so the learning curve was a bit steep here. This acrylic is very different to work with than regular acrylics. It doesn't soak up the liquids and form a bead, or yeah, I guess form a bead. It's grainy when you apply it, and then when I clean my brush and go in with a kind of dampened brush, I guess, a little bit of liquid, then when you place your brush onto the bead again, it kind of then self-levels, but it doesn't flow. This acrylic does not flow. After I have created this fade of the perfect pink, yeah, perfect pink, I go in with the green one, the Forrest, and I try to do an ombre or fade with this green. It doesn't work really well, and number one, that was because you usually should start with the darkest color first and fade the light color over the dark. That will give you the best fade, but here I definitely did the opposite. I did the dark over the pink, so the fade was horrible. But it doesn't matter, because I'm going to add glitters to cover up the fade again. It was hard to apply this acrylic to this very pointy tip, because I didn't want it to get too wet and I didn't want it to flood to the sides. It was hard to keep it on top of the pointed tip. But this fade was a lot better. But I find this acrylic very hard to fade at all. It's very different than other acrylics. And then I'm using the green glitter to, like I said, cover up that horrible fade. And you can see that this Mia Secret acrylic is settling a lot faster than an acrylic. When I was about to place down the more chunky glitter, I dipped my brush in the clear acrylic and then I pick up the glitter. That didn't work great. This acrylic is not suitable for this. I found it very strange to work with because it just wouldn't marble. I just end up poking into it, and it was horrible to marble the glitter into the white. This acrylic is really good for just colors. It's easy to work with a solid color, but when you are working with fades or marbling, that's when the weaknesses appeared. Then I apply the perfect pink a little bit further down onto the nail because I wanted it further down. And then I just add a little bit more of the green glitter. I'm probably going to go in with the the more chunky glitter as well. And for the next nail I will be sculpting a extended nail bed, and pay attention to my nail bed here and you will see that this acrylic dries very, very slowly. In some cases that is really good, but other times it is not so good. This perfect pink behaved differently than the colors. It wrinkled up the surface if you added too much liquid into the acrylic. So this acrylic is not suited to work with wetter beads because it sticks to the bristles and you just end up wiping it off instead of applying it to the nail and molding it into place. So I definitely needed to work with drier beads and then go in and clean my brush and soften up the bead afterwards with the liquid in the brush and guide it from there. I really like this orange or spice, and on this nail you can see that I worked with more wet beads, and you can see on my paper that I wiped a lot of that acrylic off again because it was too wet. This video is quite long and I'm showing you almost all the beads that I placed down so you can see how the beads behave. So I'm just going to let you watch this and make up your own mind about this product. See if it's something for you or not. This is kind of an acrylic that you either like or you don't, so yeah. And here I applied the dark brown glitter on top, and it was way too harsh and it dried away too fast for me to remove it again, so I just blended over some chunky gold glitter to fade it out. It turned out quite good, and you can see that I fiddled a lot with the chunkier glitter in the clear. And I'm just going in and refining the smile line after it has dried. This is so that you get a crisp and good smile line. And I go in with a green. I kind of forgot to press record here, I can see that. So but I'm just pushing it up, all the way up against the corners of the smile line. Crisp corners is important and will look a lot better than if you miss some product on, up in the side. This can also be a weak spot for the nails to crack if you are working on a real hand. Pay attention to these beads when I place them down. They just stick up like, yeah, it is so weird. It's like dry and cold snow, like it's just weird. The consistency is very weird when you place down the first bead until you go over it with your bristles to let it soak up even more liquid from the brush. And then you can guide it wherever you want it to be. And again, as I said, this dries very slowly. I also forgot to press record for when I did this green nail, the index finger. And of course this was my best nail, as you can see from the nail bed here. So I can absolutely agree with Tracy from Young Nails. She's usually say that the first 3 nails does not count. But when you're doing only 4 nails, that is problematic. And then I go in and place some gold leaf, or yeah, gold leaf. Fiddling around because I have an idea where I want it to be, and I want it to be right where I want it to be. Yeah. And then I just encapsulate it slightly with a clear to keep it in place while I encapsulate the whole nails after. And then it's time for the full encapsulation, and yeah, you can see that my clear beads are grainy and sticking up when I place them down, and then after I clean the brush I can guide this acrylic around. So I actually like this acrylic for the full application, like the clear here, like on the pinky and the index finger, like a full colored nail. But as I said earlier, for marbling nails and for ombres it did not feel good. But I really like the clear for the encapsulation. It's just different. And again, for beginners it is very slow drying. And I always notice when I'm editing that I pick up very small beads. So you are going to see me pick up a lot of beads here. So I'm just going to leave you with some music because I have talked a lot here. And I will get back to you whenever I want to. So again, it looks like I'm picking up way too dry beads, but as I said earlier again, when I pick up more wet beads, you end up wiping off a lot of product, and that is not ideal. So I found that placing down a dry bead makes it easier to guide and kind of model the acrylic around the nail, because you cannot use gravity here. You have to use your brush, and you need to be very gentle so that you do not poke into the bead and make a very uneven surface. You can see how they look when I place them down. It is very different than regular acrylic. It doesn't self-level and it doesn't flow. I just want to talk about practice hand here. It is the flexible one. It is not the posable one. It doesn't have the wires inside. And I actually really love this a lot because it works like a relaxed person's hand. It is a lot better to work on. You can have the 4 fingers rest on top, or 3 of the fingers rest on top of your hand like you're working with the one hand, and it mimics a lot better what it feels like to work on natural hands. The posable ones are very stiff and you have to bend them out of the way when you're working on it. So I really like the flexible one rather than the posable one. I will show you how I file just one of these nails. It is very hard to hold the tip and file it at the same time. I always start to file underneath the sidewalls because it gives me a very clear understanding of the thickness of the sidewalls. But then I go in and file one side and the other side, and when the extended tip is good, I go in and work around the nail bed, and I always end with the top of the nail or the apex area. And when I'm finished filing, I go in with shiny top coat from ANAcrylics. This is a thicker top coat than others, so I like to use this when I have longer nails because the gel does not flow to the side of the nails and make them even more chunky than they are. Yeah, it gives you a lot better time to get a nice surface on the whole nail. And the satisfying part of acrylic is to apply the top coat, because all the glitters is then going to shine so beautiful again. And when I'm applying top coat for longer nails, I also use a harder touch on the sides, because that will apply thinner coats on the sides, and apply a little less pressure in the middle, because you want a little bit more product in the middle, so that when that self levels, you have the same thickness all over the nail.
And of course you need to fully cure this for 60 seconds in your LED lamp or 2 minutes in a UV lamp. And here are the finished nails. They turned out quite good for an autumn design. I ended up posting this now in the winter, so yeah, it was a little bit late. This was intended to be posted in autumn. Sorry! But they turned out pretty cool. I like them. Shiny, sparkly. So if you like this video, please comment, like, share, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Hit that notification bell so you get updates whenever I post a new one. And also follow my other social medias like Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. And I will see you guys really soon in another video. So bye bye for now. Bye bye.